another disturbing creation from the mind of one sick cat who can't tell the difference and gets stupefied. I've been waiting my whole life for just one. And here he is, J.C. Bailey. What do you think of this kid, Roland?
Tonight I got all the respect in the world for him, Nate.
You what?
So tonight I got all the respect in the world for him.
He's got some balls. He's got some balls.
I know I can't see my fat ass climbing up there. I break the ropes tonight. Can you imagine me taking a bump off that? The ring would
just... poles just fold in. You go right through it.
Right through the ring.
See, they said, I heard them saying that this was going to be a 15-foot scaffolding. Well, I know for a fact, that King of the Death match is when I came up the second pole over, or that second beam over there. That's 18 feet. And that's a good 5 feet above that. That's got to be a good 20, I'm thinking 20-some feet, man. 23 feet? What do you think?
Trying to calculate.
Mark, this is some crazy shit.
Supposedly each tier is 6 foot, right?
Yeah, so that's 18 feet.
18.
That's 18.
The world is a band.
Here comes the most craziest guy I've ever met in the wrestling business.
This is the man, the American Danger Man, Madman Pondo.
Usually Pondo's out here strutting through the ring tonight. You know, he looks like he's real serious tonight.
I know, he ain't goofing off like
he's not goofing off or anything.
Batty going over there talking to Pondo. You can tell right now the atmosphere in this arena, they're not clapping like you hear people clapping usually. And if I don't know if the camera's panning, but look throughout the match when you're watching this tape, you can see the faces on these people. They're just another shot.
Let's see what Pondo has to say.
It's a dream come true for 2 guys in the IWA. He don't tell you, World Plan will tell you, a lot of people will tell you. The guy that gave me this armband, Masanaga, is the reason ECW was ECW, CZW was CZW, XPW was XPW, and IWA is IWA.
That's true.
The guy's name is Masanaga, and not only is he one of my good friends, JC's been watching videotapes of him just like I have. He's actually the guy that I started watching when I became retarded like this. So
Pondo's retarded like this.
JC, one more time, it's time to get hardcore in this building tonight.
Nate, look at the locker rooms. The locker rooms is basically emptied out to watch this match.
It is a curtain sellout tonight.
Introducing first, hailing from
and you got Tracy Smothers over there. You got Jorge Estrada. You got Ian Rotten. Man. You know, J.C. Bailey is coming into his own in IWA as of late, which is weird for me to say that because it reminds me how I did like a year and a half ago. It's the same thing. But J.C. Bailey's busting his ass. I mean,
trying to make a name for himself.
And he's been in both hardcore matches
and technical matches.
So, and plus he's only 19 years old. Is that how old he is? Man, he's come so far in the what? How many months? 4 months he's been here?
3 or 4 months. Oh, here they go. Collar and elbow tie up.
Kick to the stomach.
That's probably the most technical move you'll see this match, Nate.
Collar and elbow tie up?
Exactly.
Don't fall, Dave Prazak.
I will not fall, Nate Webb. Rolling hard. We're witnessing wrestling history here, at least for the IWA. And the United States. You know, it was done by Big Japan, as Pondo had mentioned. I believe it was Matsunaga and Nakamaki.
They're under the barbed wire. How will they shoot each other?
Tight.
That's right. Fighting underneath the barbed wire net. It is strung in both directions. to supposedly catch one of these wrestlers if they were to fall off of that scaffold. It is 18 feet high on the third rung. Each rung is 6 feet.
So how high is this, Dave? It's higher than that, then.
Yeah, we're 15 right. I think we're like 15 right now.
So that is a real 18 feet.
It's a real 18 feet that they're going to be standing on, and if they jump off the top of that thing, they'll be like 20 feet in the air, over 20 feet in the air.
I don't think anyone's going to jump.
I don't think anybody's going to jump, Zach.
They might get thrown. Be like salad.
And they're climbing the scaffold right off the bat here.
Quick.
They started out inside the ring underneath the barbed wire, and now they're climbing the scaffold. One fall to a finish. It's not usually in a scaffold match. It's the first person that gets thrown off the thing that loses.
Look how flimsy the scaffold looks.
That's pretty flimsy. That's right.
Well, it's not flimsy, but 18 feet in the air, and you have 4 poles going up. I mean, this can't really be unless it was anchored to the ceiling or something.
They have these things called outriggers on. They're kind of like training wheels to keep it from actually tipping over.
And to move it around this building, have everybody holding on to the scaffold so that it stays in place. 2 of the most dedicated hardcore wrestlers in this region of the country, and I guess in the world. I mean, Madman Pondo, several tours with Big Japan Pro Wrestling. J.C. Bailey trying to make a name for himself in wrestling, made his way to the IWA Mid-South just a few months ago.
As I said, how is J.C. Bailey's going to be looking good for the King of the Deathmatch tournaments coming up this year?
Yeah, coming up. Madman Pondo thrown off the first rung into the spider net of barbed wire. But he needs to score a pinfall. What is Bailey doing?
Oh, my God.
He needs to score a pinfall in order to get the victory here.
Oh,
Pondo
no.
is
No way.
What is Bailey doing? You said he's not. Nobody's going to jump off. Senton! A senton into the barbed wire and on top of Madman Pondo.
And his leg went through.
Can she count a fall in the barbed wire there? She can just see whether his shoulders are against the wire.
Are they ever getting out of here?
We have ring attendants, security from the IWA trying to help these 2 guys. They're trapped right now. Bailey putting his own body on the line, executing a senton off that second rung, 12 feet in the air, onto Madman Pondo, but unable to attempt a pinfall after that.
I don't think he got all of Madman Pondo there, though.
Quite possible.
But it's just what it is it's the when you hit it, the barbed wire separates, and you're not feeling the impact from the thing, but you're feeling those barbs go into you.
Ian Rottenau in the ring. They may have to cut some of these wrestlers free. Ian Rotten pushing the body of Pondo up to stop the barbs from cutting into his body with so much force.
I'm going to have to say that barbed wire would be worse than falling into the ring on the impact.
Of course. Be worse than falling onto the concrete floor.
And both men escape it.
I thought Ian was stuck.
February 22nd, 2003. We are in Clarksville, Indiana.
People that are not here are just stupid. You know, would you rather stay home and watch Mike Tyson fight some no-name guy, or would you rather come here and see 2 guys just duke it out on an 18-foot scaffold over a barbed wire net?
I'd like to see Mike Tyson thrown into the barbed wire.
I'd like to see that Bob Sapp guy thrown into the barbed wire.
What the hell's that?
This powerhouse guy from Japan that thinks he's like Goldberg or some shit. I don't know. But right now they're once again on the second tier of this scaffold. This is 12 feet in the air. Brawling above this net of barbed wire. Pondo looks to have the advantage at the moment. But both of them cut up from the barbed wire already from that first fall.
I don't see how JC can actually climb up there. If you notice, his leg fell through the
barbed wire and was cut up.
That's nuts and barbed wire.
And you can see Pondo's body a bloody mess from those barbs, his forehead a bloody mess. The same for J.C. Bailey. Fans getting behind Pondo. Both of these wrestlers are favorites of the IWA fans. What's he going for? A Russian leg sweep? You gotta be kidding me! You've gotta be kidding me! You have gotta be kidding me!
Holy shit!
Holy fuck! Again, neither man able to go for a cover, and with a Russian leg sweep, it hurts both men involved. It's not just one of the wrestlers that's taking the brunt of the maneuver, it's both.
Twice tonight the ropes have been broke.
Second time tonight that the ropes broke.
Second time. You know, if you sit and think about this match, you know, you're thinking main event, King of the Death matches, right? Not just on a, yeah. You know, this is a big show.
It's a bigger show, but it's not a death match.
Exactly.
It's not the biggest show of the year death match wise for the company.
What can he come up with now that will top this for a main event of the King of the Death?
We'll find that out in July.
Call the bell.
Don't even suggest that.
Oh.
You guys,
Jim Fannon's asked for the bell.
Jim Fannin called for the bell.
you guys went into it twice. You don't have to kill yourself.
Jim Fannin called for the bell.
And the fans showing their appreciation for what these two kids just did to each other. Well, J.C. Bailey's a kid. I mean, Pondo, a veteran of the ring.
Did he call the match?
He called the match. The ring is broken. The barbed wire is sagging. They fell into the damn thing twice. They put their bodies on the line for these fans and made United States wrestling history here. We don't have a decided winner of the match, though.
I think they both should be winners tonight, Prazak.
I mean, they're both winners for being involved in the matchup.
They're pointing to the top.
I don't think that's homage to Sabu. I think they're thinking about climbing the thing again. The match is over. Jim Fannin, assistant promoter of the IWA, put a stop to the match already.
This is
What
why
are they
it's
doing?
Madman Pondo, J.C. Bailey, and IWA.
They're nuts.
They did not have to do this. They do not have
Pondo they're climbing to the top of this thing. That is 16 feet in the air. Or is it either 16 or 18.
Pondo
No
taking
matter
that.
what, it's over 20 feet in the air once they're standing up on the thing.
I thought the bell had already rang.
Jim Fannin said that they did not have to continue this.
And they're doing it anyway. That shows the determination of these two guys. And shows just how nuts they are and how willing they are to put their own livelihood on the line for the fans of hardcore wrestling.
I'm speechless.
I'm speechless,
We
too.
have a King of the Death match champion up here and a guy who went to the finals up here, and both of them are speechless.
The bells rang. Why don't they just go back to the locker rooms?
If they want a winner. There was no winner with Jim Fannin stopping the match. Pondo and Bailey battling it out on the top of this scaffold.
18 feet in the air.
18 feet in the air. Standing up over 20 feet in the air.
Oh, no.
Pondo's hooking Bailey for a suplex. There's no way that he's going to suplex him off this thing.
No way he's going to do a
No
superplex.
way in hell. Impossible.
Ring the bell.
Pondo going for a superplex.
Oh!
Holy fuck! Holy fuck!
That's got to be it.
That's gotta be it. That's gotta be it. A superplex from 20 feet in the air into a net of barbed wire by Madman Pondo. But that takes out the flesh of both of these wrestlers. It hurt Pondo just as much as it hurt J.C. Bailey.
Ah, the match was over.
The match was over, but they wanted to see a winner. Nobody has won yet. This is decided by pinfall. Referee of record, Mickey, is inside the ring, but neither man able to go for a cover. They're just trying to be free of the barbed wire right now. We have ring attendants, security guards, wrestlers,
Fans?
trying to see if these guys are all right. Everyone appreciative of their effort, of their determination for doing this.
Just cleared out and everything. You know, we've seen power bombs off balconies.
Russian leg sweeps out of balconies, sentons out of balconies, but we've never seen
a superplex off of an 18-foot
scaffold into a net of barbed wire. Devastating maneuver. Pondo was the one that executed the maneuver, and he's also the first one free of the barbed wire. And you can hear J.C. Bailey, you can hear the pain going through the body of J.C. Bailey as he is freed of the barbed wire, as it is pulled out of his flesh.
For J.C. Bailey to only be 19 years old, he sure has a lot of balls.
And only a couple of months in the IWA, trying to make a name for himself, trying to show to these fans of the IWA that he belongs in this promotion.
J.C. Bailey seems to be tied up in the barbed wire pretty good.
Hold on, bro.
Pretty terribly.
I feel sorry for the ring tonight. It's taking a beating.
I feel sorry for J.C. Bailey right now. Well, no winner.
Took the worst of that.
J.C. Bailey, Pondo was the first one freed. He was the one that executed the superplex.
I told you to stop after the second fall. Now I'm really telling you. You're not going back up there again. Pinfall or no pinfall, you guys are hardcore. And there's something left.
It's like the match will be ruled a draw, but both men showing unbelievable determination here.
I've got something to say to you, JC. Everyone knows that I didn't want you here. I didn't think that you belonged here. I didn't think that you'd be loyal to this company with everything that your daddy did. But after this, welcome to the family.
J.C. Bailey getting inducted into the IWA
Accepted
family.
by Jim Fannin.
Now, Jim Fannon's a big part of this company, believe it or not.
The assistant promoter of the company.
So many times I ask people to do this match with me. The only favor I can give you is Barbara's going to give you a copy of this tape, and I'm putting it right in Masanagi's hands, baby.
I'd say JC's on his way to Japan.
Well, Madman Pondo doing what he can for the only wrestler in the United States willing to do this match with him, J.C. Bailey.
This is going to sound really, really cheap. But I ain't got enough money tonight to pay these guys for what they did. So if you got a little something extra to get in the kitty tonight, dig in your pocket so we give these guys what they deserve to be paid for this, which is $1 million. But let me tell you something. This kid, where are you going with him? Oh.
Where's he going? No, the match is over. The match is over. No, not again. Ian Ron trying to pull JC down. He wants to climb up there with Pondo. They want a winner. They want to see a winner. They don't seem satisfied with a draw. Can't stop Pondo.
Getting some respect from this IWA crowd.
An unbelievable display of determination by both of these hardcore wrestlers tonight.
You know what? Pondo, before he left the dressing room, you'd already out me in the ring. We can remember when you used to sit in the front row at the old Kmart building and watch me and Pondo. You came a long, long way, baby.
And as insane as you are, as insane as this kid is, I'm telling you, he's here every Tuesday and Thursday night training his ass off wrestling. Keep watching for him as a wrestler because he's got heart like you would not believe when it comes to pure technical wrestling also. This kid is the total package. What more can I say, baby? Your dreams came true. You even got yourself a Japanese fiance. Yeah, she's hot too, believe it or not. But Pondo, I'm going to say this, and we're going to get this out of here because I don't know what time it is again. One. Pondo. I love you, man. Thanks for everything you've ever done for this fucking company. No problem.
The two wrestlers that defined hardcore wrestling in the IWA, Madman Pondo and Ian Rotten, embrace at ringside, and Ian Rotten and Pondo welcome J.C. Bailey to the IWA family. Madman Pondo thrown off the first rung into the spider net of barbed wire. Nobody's going to jump off. Senton! A senton into the barbed wire. What's he going for? A Russian leg sweep? You gotta be kidding me!
Oh my God.
Superplex! Oh! Holy fuck! Holy fuck! Superplex!
Cut back around at the glue. Yeah. Looks like you might have one on your arm too. I have to get you cleaned up.
First time and the last time.
Yes. We'll do this together. Fuck it.
First time and the last time. The barefoot thumbtacks, now this.